Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, subscribing and commenting. I appreciate the support. And of course, if you guys want to support me further, you can go to my Ko-fi link, kofi.com/boomshikha. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about something that I've been thinking about a lot recently. I read recently in, I think it was Instagram or Facebook, somewhere anyways, I saw this image where there's this child or this teenager asking his mother, it was a comic, and he was asking his mother, why is everyone so depressed nowadays? Why is everyone so sad nowadays? And of course the mother's like, well, we live in a fake society, we eat fake food, we have fake relationships, and we spend all of our time watching other fake people doing fake things. That's the gist of it. I don't think exactly that's how she said it, but it was basically the gist of what she was talking about. And I thought that was so brilliant because, not that I'm saying that everything that is in society right now is pretty much fake. I mean, I think the air that I'm breathing right now, yes, it's laced with synthetic pollutants, I'm sure, but it is real air, and the words that I'm speaking right now are real words. This life that I'm leading right now, I think it's a real life, although people could argue that, that they could say that I'm not living a real life because I'm not a mother, or I don't have children, or a family, or one of those real lives. So I think everyone's just doing the best they can, really. As I've said before, everyone's just trying in this world that we live in to do the best we can. And as more and more and more people are added to the mix, more and more people in terms of overpopulation or in population in general, as more people are added to the mix, just more and more ways of people figuring out, okay, how am I going to live this life of mine? How am I going to live in a way where it feels like I'm doing something with myself here, so that the 40, 50, 60 years of life that I have on this planet do not seem like I'm just biding my time until I die, which a lot of us actually sometimes feel like that's what we're doing. I've had my friends ask me, how am I supposed to fill these next 40 years of my life? What am I supposed to fill it with, so that I can live on this planet or live my life without feeling like I just want to kill myself, right? Now, I'm not saying that everyone has these thoughts. Most people, I'm sure, are happy just getting up in the morning, earning money, going to work, earning money, having some alcohol or some drugs or some sex, and then going to sleep, and then repeating the pattern over and over again, right? And so I think it's easier for some people to distract themselves than for other people. For some reason, it's harder for an INFJ or for this personality type, perhaps because we're empaths, perhaps because we're highly sensitive, or whatever it might be. It's harder for us to distract ourselves from the real big question, which is, what am I doing here? Why am I here? What is the point of all of this? All of this stuff that I'm doing, I'm getting up every morning and then I'm doing things to fill the day, to fill the hours of the day. And so sometimes I'll watch TV, sometimes I'll hang out with friends, sometimes I'll eat some good food. But then I fill up my days with things, with interactions, some fake, some not so fake, with food, some fake, not so fake, and so eventually the day ends, and then I'm able to say, okay, cool, I guess it's time for me to go to sleep. And it was a good enough day. I did some things and I produced some stuff, I ate some food, and I lived my life a little bit. And so let's go to sleep and let's go into a stupor or go unconscious for 8 or 9, 10 hours, so that takes care of that chunk of time. And so you go to sleep and then you wake up the next morning and you try to refill those hours with something that makes you feel a little bit good about yourself, or makes you feel like, all right, cool, yeah, I've spent my time doing what I wanted to do. And then you repeat, you rinse and repeat until you die, hopefully. Hopefully not so fast. Hopefully you have a little bit of time on this planet, or hopefully not. Maybe you don't want that much time and you're like, yeah, I think 10 years is more than enough. I think just 10 more years and I should be good with this life. But the whole point of this is that, all of us are just trying to fill in the gap, right? There is this gap that has been created between birth and death, There are these few moments, and some of us do a better job of it than others. Some of us do a better job of distracting ourselves than others. You know, some people will be very good at playing the game, and so that's the whole point of it. You know, some people are good at playing the game. I am terrible at playing the game. That's one of the reasons why I suck at life in general in this society that we live in, because I am not good at playing the game. I don't know how to play the game. I am not good at it. I don't want to play the game. I get annoyed when I have to play the game. But I think life is about playing the game. And so instead of playing the game, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, how am I going to live this life without playing the game? You have to play the game. And the game is basically getting a job, getting married, having children, and then retiring at a certain age or dying before you retire, kind of thing, right? And so that's the game. And most people are playing the game, and it's great because it's a good distraction. You get so busy with the game. It's such a busy game. You know, you get up in the morning and you barely have any time to breathe before the day ends. You went to work, you took care of your family, you cooked some food, you hung out with them a little bit, and boom, the day is done. And before you know it, the year is done, and before you know it, the decade is done, and before you know it, you're retiring, and then you die. And so then it's a very good way of filling in the gap between when you were born and when you die. That little bit of time that you have, it needs to be filled up. And a lot of people are just sitting there thinking, how am I going to fill up this time if I don't get married and I don't have children? Children are a very good source of distraction and of filling up that gap, because it takes so much time and energy to take care of children that it's a good way of filling up the gap, right? But if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to play that game, then what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? What are you spending your time doing? And how are you going to fill in the gap? How are you going to fill in those long, dark moments where there's nothing else to do? You know, different people do different things. I mean, I've found different ways of distracting myself and filling up the gap. Different people have found different ways of doing that. You know, some people move around from relationship to relationship. Some people just have a lot of unprotected sex, and so that's one way for them to do it. Other people just drink a lot and they get drunk every single night almost. Or some other people will just party a lot. Other people travel a lot. And so there's a lot of different ways that people have chosen in order to fill in that gap. But of course, at the end of it all, we're all just sitting and thinking, all right, was that really a good use of my time? And was that a good use of that gap? Like, did I use that time properly? Was that how I was supposed to do it? Is that how life is supposed to be? Is that what we're all supposed to be doing? Filling in the gap with random different things and hoping that we made the right choice? Or is it supposed to be that everyone is supposed to get married and have children so that they get distracted and so they don't have to think about the gap or think about filling in that time? And it's really, really terrible, because whenever people do ask me about the gap, about the time, and they're like, how am I supposed to fill this time? What am I supposed to do? I really have no good answer for it. You know, even this video that I'm doing right now, I'm doing it because the question is on my mind, and the question is something that a lot of people ask me. But is there an answer to it? Really, I don't think so. I think everyone just makes up their own answer. They make up their own way of living the gap. And hopefully they do a good job, and hopefully they don't have too many regrets when they die. Hopefully. Some people do, some people don't. And you just try to do the best you can. And hopefully, eventually, maybe somewhere in the future, someone will figure out an answer. Or maybe when you die and you go into the ether and then you talk to God or whoever it is, then you're like, oh yeah, you did the right thing. And you're like, oh phew, thank God. I was worried that I spent all of my time doing nothing. And God's like, no, you did it right. Well, maybe he says that to everyone. Everyone did it right, because there's no real right answer to all of this. Everyone's just doing the best they can. Which is why we always come back to that. Everyone's doing the best we can. Just do what you can. Fill in the gap the way you think is best. And no one has the answers. If they say they have the answers, they're wrong. Or maybe they are right. I have no idea. But just do the best you can, and that's it. Right? I think that's the only thing that we can really do here. I just wanted to share this with you guys. There's no real point to this video, I don't think. There's no real answer. I haven't shared an answer with you or a solution to the problem, if there is a problem. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you because this is something that kind of goes around and around in my head a lot. And so I thought, all right, let's just do a video on it. It's fine. Maybe it makes sense to some people, maybe it won't. It doesn't matter. If you guys have any questions about this, obviously, please comment below and I'll do a follow-up video on my thoughts. These are all just my thoughts, obviously. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing my ideas with you. And if you guys are interested in supporting me further, you can go to my Ko-fi link, kofi.com/boomshikha. I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.